All right, thank you, Ashley. Veterans are hoping one of their own gets the burial he deserves.
News 8's Travis Robinson spoke with those who knew him best about just what kind of life he led.
This is Sergeant John Gillespie Jr., a Marine who served in the Vietnam War from 1963 to 1967 as part of the Air Wing.
That's about all I can tell you about John. That's probably not a lot, but more than most folks do.
After retiring from Allison's, Gillespie was a bit of a recluse and had poor health. His neighbors say he spent a lot of time holed up indoors.
If he liked you, then he'd talk to you. If he didn't, and there was a lot of people he didn't like, he wouldn't even speak to them.
Now, every once in a while, Gillespie would open up to a fellow Marine or someone like his neighbors who spent some family time painting their shed.
And I think he was touched by the fact that all 4 kids were out painting, that he eventually got on his rider and made the trek to the shed, and everyone was pretty wigged out because John had never said a word. We'd said hi to him, he'd ignored us, and then he went on to talk with me for an hour and a half that day.
After that, Gillespie developed a healthy relationship with the family. But when he died of natural causes in his home, the coroner's office had no family of his own to contact. So the coroner's office posted this to social media in the hopes of finding his family. After tips poured in, they finally found his daughter.
She had pulled up to the house and got to meet her, and she was so thankful for the time that we were able to spend in his life. They'd been estranged for decades.
The daughter told her neighbors she wanted a private funeral for her father that his neighbors were invited to. But both the VFW and American Legion want to make sure he gets a proper Marine burial.
We understand that the daughter has, it's a private thing with her, but we would like to know, we would like to let the daughter know that we are here and that she can contact us here at our post, and we will do anything that she requests to make sure that this that John gets an honorable service.
The American Legion says they have a lot to thank Gillespie for. He had been very generous and even bought them brand new computers for the Legion at one point. Those who knew him say he'll definitely be missed.